Wyoming. The wind in Wyoming is an old voice. It moves across the high plains, over the steep peaks, speaking in a low, steady tone that carries the memory of the land. It has known this place since the beginning, since the mountains first rose, and as rivers began to carve patient paths. This is a place of wonder, a place that does not shout its beauty. It lets that beauty settle into you, slowly. The land here is vast, and the silence is a presence you can feel. It is a silence full of stories. It asks you to slow down, to breathe. Wyoming is a state of mind as much as a state on a map. It reminds you of a scale larger than our own, a world where nature's clock moves at a different pace. Here, time is measured not in minutes or hours, but in the slow drift of clouds, the turning of seasons, the patient erosion of rock by wind and water. Wyoming's story is written in its geology, in the very bones of the continent. The mountains here are not gentle hills, they are monuments. The Grand Tetons are a perfect example, rising sharply from the valley floor without the preamble of foothills. Schwabacher Landing reflected perfectly in still water. They are young mountains, geologically speaking, their jagged peaks carved by glaciers into knives of stone that slice the sky. They stand as a raw and powerful expression of the forces that are constantly reshaping our planet. A sudden and breathtaking uplift against the wide, flat plains of Jackson Hole. Then there are the plains themselves, which roll away from the mountains like a great grassy sea. These high deserts and prairies seem to stretch on forever, a landscape of subtle colors and immense scale. This is the land that once supported millions of bison, the great herds that moved like a slow, dark river across the continent. Today, the sagebrush steppe still holds that sense of emptiness and possibility. Deeper still are the canyons, where rivers have spent millennia cutting through layers of rock. Places like the Bighorn Canyon reveal a history book of stone, with each layer telling a story of a different age, a different climate, a different world. The water flows at the bottom, a persistent force that proves even the hardest rock must eventually yield to time and patience. These deep gashes in the earth are reminders of the slow, relentless power of nature, a power that works on a timescale far beyond our own human lives. And beneath it all, the earth is alive. Nowhere is this more apparent than in its volcanic heart. The land is a tapestry of different forms: Devil's Tower, a monolith of solidified magma, the rolling hills of the Absaroka Range, the eroded remains of an ancient volcanic field. The ground here is not static, it is a living, breathing entity. It is a place of heat and ice, of uplift and erosion, of creation and slow decay. It is the earth speaking its own language. You can feel the vastness in the air itself. It is crisp and clean, carrying the scent of sagebrush after a rain and the sharp perfume of high mountain pines. Standing on a ridge, looking out over miles of unbroken land, you feel a perspective rare in the modern world. The world's noise fades away. The sky over Wyoming is a character in its own right. During the day, it is an immense dome of blue, so wide and open that it can make you feel both incredibly small and infinitely free. The clouds that drift across it are not just random puffs of white. They are sculptures in motion, constantly changing shape as they are pushed by the ever-present wind. The light here is sharp and clear, illuminating every detail. It is a light that seems to strip away everything but the essential truth of the land. The weather in this big sky country can change in an instant. A calm, sunny afternoon can give way to a sudden, dramatic thunderstorm. Dark clouds gather over the mountains, and lightning traces bright, jagged lines from the heavens to the earth. The rain that follows is often a hard, cleansing downpour that washes the dust from the air and leaves the world smelling fresh and new. In the winter, the storms bring snow, a quiet, insistent force that blankets the land in a deep layer of white, muffling all sound and transforming the world into a place of stark, silent beauty. But it is at night that the Wyoming sky reveals its true magnificence. Far from the glare of city lights, the darkness is complete, a perfect velvet canvas for the stars. The Milky Way stretches from one horizon to the other, a luminous river of light so bright it seems you could almost reach out and touch it. Constellations are sharp and clear, and shooting stars frequently streak across the darkness, silent and fleeting. In the northwest corner of Wyoming lies a place unlike any other on Earth, Yellowstone. It is the world's first national park, a designation given in 1872 to protect its incredible wonders. This is not a quiet, static landscape. It is a place where the planet's inner fire comes to the surface. A caldera of a supervolcano, breathes, bubbles, steams. To walk here is to feel the power simmering just below your feet. The geysers are the most famous expression of this geothermal activity. Old Faithful is known around the world for its predictable eruptions, sending a tower of boiling water and steam high into the air with a powerful roar. But it is only one of thousands of thermal features here. There are hot springs with colors so vivid they seem unreal, created by mats of microbes that thrive in the scalding water. Grand prismatic spring, orange, yellow, blue. A pool of impossible beauty that steams in the cool mountain air. The ground itself hisses and gurgles. Mud pots bubble like a thick stew, and fumaroles release plumes of steam that smell faintly of sulfur. These features are a direct link to the molten rock that lies just miles beneath the surface. The forests and meadows here grow alongside this thermal activity, creating a strange and beautiful contrast between life and the raw, elemental forces of geology. This place shows the power of an idea, that some places are so special, so wondrous, that they should be set aside for everyone, for all time. It is the beating heart of Wyoming, and a treasure for the entire world. Wyoming is a sanctuary for some of North America's most iconic wildlife. The animals here are not just inhabitants of the land, they are the land, moving with its rhythms and embodying its wild spirit. The American bison is perhaps the most powerful symbol of this. These massive creatures, weighing up to 2,000 pounds, roam the plains and valleys in great herds. To see them move across the landscape, their dark forms silhouetted against the grass, is to witness a scene that has played out for thousands of years. They are a link to a wilder past. The elk are another constant presence, their herds grazing in mountain meadows in the summer, and moving to lower elevations in the winter. In the autumn, the sound of a bull elk's bugle echoes through the valleys. A high, piercing call that is one of the most haunting and beautiful sounds in nature. It is a declaration of strength, a challenge to rivals, and a song that defines the changing of the seasons. Graceful pronghorn, the fastest land animals in the Western Hemisphere, race across the open sagebrush flats, their white rumps flashing in the sun. And where there are herds, there are hunters. The gray wolf, once hunted to extinction in this region, has made a remarkable comeback. Moving in silent, intelligent packs, they are the ghosts of the forest, rarely seen, but always felt. Their return has restored a crucial balance to the ecosystem, a reminder that every creature has a role to play in the intricate web of life. Grizzly bears, powerful and solitary, roam these mountains and forests, foraging for berries and fishing for trout, a true symbol of untamed wilderness. From the mighty grizzly to the tiny pika gathering grass in the high rock fields, each is a vital part of this incredible, living tapestry. Long before the first settlers arrived, this land was home to people who knew its secrets intimately. For over 11,000 years, Shoshone, Arapaho, Lakota. They followed the great bison herds, moved with the seasons, mountains, rivers, plains. Their stories are woven into the fabric of Wyoming. Wind River, the Bighorn Mountains. Their history is carved into the rock in the form of petroglyphs, timeless messages from a people who lived in harmony with the earth. Then came a new chapter. The 19th century brought explorers, fur trappers, and pioneers. Men like John Colter, who was the first European to see the wonders of Yellowstone, and Jim Bridger, whose tall tales of geysers and petrified forests were initially dismissed as fantasy. They were followed by settlers traveling west on the Oregon Trail, which cut a wide path across the state. They faced harsh winters, vast distances, and the immense challenge of building a life in a land that was both beautiful and unforgiving. Their legacy can be seen in the small towns that dot the landscape, and in the weathered wood of abandoned homesteads that stand as silent monuments to their struggle and perseverance. These early settlers built communities based on resilience and mutual support. They learn to read the weather, to manage the land, and to endure the isolation. Cowboys, miners, and farmers. Wyoming itself played a pioneering role in the nation's social history. In 1869, it became the first territory in the United States to grant women the right to vote, earning it the nickname, the Equality State. This human history is a story of adaptation, of learning to live with the land rather than trying to conquer it. It is a quiet history, but a powerful one. The cowboy is an enduring American icon. In Wyoming, that icon is a living reality. Ranching is a way of life, a culture passed down through generations. Tied to the land and animals, governed by seasons and weather. The work is hard, days are long, starting before dawn, ending long after dusk. Mending fences that stretch for miles, moving cattle across vast pastures, tending to the herd's health in all conditions. Horses are central, more than tools, partners, trusted companions on rugged terrain. A relationship of mutual respect forged over countless hours in the saddle. The sight of a rider moving across the open range, silhouetted against the setting sun. It speaks of freedom and quiet competence. Spring, calving season. Summer, moving cattle to high country pastures. Autumn, the roundup, gathering and sorting. Winter, feeding the herds, breaking ice, enduring the cold with quiet resilience. Deep understanding of the land, knowing every draw and ridge, where the grass grows best, where the water flows, where herds seek shelter from storms. Stewards of the land, managing for future generations. A life of profound connection, a daily conversation with the earth, the animals, the elements. A steady poem of hard work and quiet dedication. While Wyoming is known for its grand, dramatic landscapes, its true magic is often found in the small, quiet details. It is in the way the morning light catches the dew on a spider's web, turning it into a string of tiny jewels. It is in the brilliant burst of wildflowers, scarlet gilia, yellow balsam root, and purple lupine and Indian paintbrush that carpet a mountain meadow in July. It is in the soft hum of bees and the gentle flutter of butterflies moving from bloom to bloom. There is also a quiet, essential human work that goes on here, largely unseen. This is the work of conservation. It is carried out by park rangers who patrol the backcountry, by scientists who study the delicate balance of the ecosystem, and by volunteers who help maintain trails and restore habitats. They track the movements of wolf packs, monitor the health of grizzly bear populations, and study the chemistry of the geysers. This work is about finding a balance, where roads should go, how many visitors a place can sustain, and how to manage the complex interactions between wildlife and people. This careful stewardship is a promise made to the future. And so, the work continues. We began with the wind, that old, steady voice moving across the land. It is still here. It whispers through the pines, howls over the high passes, and sighs across the endless sagebrush plains. It has seen mountains rise and fall, and it has watched generations of life come and go. It speaks of permanence, of things that endure beyond our own brief time on this earth. To stand in Wyoming is to stand in the presence of this deep time, to feel a sense of connection to something ancient and powerful. This land offers a rare kind of space. It is a space to breathe, to think, and to feel. Under its wide, open sky, the clutter of our daily lives seems to fall away, leaving only what is essential. It teaches us about silence. It teaches us about patience. It reminds us that there is a beauty in simplicity, a strength in stillness, and a wisdom in the natural world that we can all learn from. It lets you feel small, not in a way that is diminishing, but in a way that is liberating. These are the moments that stay with you. The land gives this gift freely. It asks for nothing in return, only our respect. A promise to remember the wide sky and the sound of the wind, to support the work of those who protect it. The wonders of Wyoming are steady, patient. They ask only that we listen. Share and subscribe for more adventures from around the world. Until next time.